What the Storm Brought. Story by Terry Miller Shannon. Illustrations by Stephen Snyder. Chapter 1. A Big Problem. Paco Martinez glared out the window. Rain splattered against the window, and the wind howled through the trees. Paco sighed. He flicked the light switch on and groaned when the room stayed dark. "How long can this storm go on?" he asked his mother. Mom shrugged. "You've asked me 1,000,000,000 times. My answer is still the same. I don't know how long it will rain. I have no idea when the power will come back on either." She pointed at the couch where Paco's older brother Manuel was reading. "Why don't you read, like Manny?" "No one understands how horrible this is for me," Paco exclaimed. "It's absolute torture not to be able to get on the internet. I even missed Galaxies Inside Galaxies, which just happens to be my favorite show in the whole world. It's the one I wait all week to watch, and I couldn't even record it." Manny said, "Paco, it doesn't help to keep complaining about the same things. How about figuring out something that you can do?" Manny stretched and yawned. Then he added, "Having a couple days without power isn't the worst thing you'll ever have to live through. I'm getting tired of your whining, and I'll bet the rest of the family feels the same way." Paco flicked the light switch on and off again. The room stayed dark. "I get no sympathy from my own family," he muttered under his breath. "I'm bored to death." He stomped into his bedroom and flopped onto the bed. He glared at the ceiling and then yanked a space travel book off his bookshelf. There was barely enough gray light from the window for him to read. He thought of the family computer, which was just gathering dust in their living room. He groaned loudly again. As he turned the pages, he noticed how silent it was in the house. There was no music or television. All he could hear was the steady pitter-patter of rain. The wind appeared to be easing. It was barely making the trees outside creak. Paco's eyelids were getting too heavy to keep open. Soon he was snoring. When he opened his eyes again, something was different about the room. It took a moment before he realized that a weak ray of sunlight shined across his bed. Paco couldn't believe the sun was finally shining. He rushed to the wall switch and tried to flick the lights on. The electricity was still out. He leaned against his window. Sunlight gleamed off thousands of tiny raindrops in the needles of the pine tree. He tried the lights again and sighed when they still did not come on. Suddenly he had an idea. He couldn't get on the internet or watch television, but at least he could go outside. He slid into his sneakers, yanked a jacket on, and grabbed his basketball. Paco dribbled his ball as he walked toward his school. The ball thudded against the wet pavement. "When will my life get back to normal?" he wondered out loud. Paco wasn't surprised to find the school's basketball court empty. He ran, tossed the ball high, and watched it swish into the basket. After he had made several layups, he started feeling bored. He decided to challenge himself. He would shoot from the free throw line. If he made a basket, he'd earn 3 points, but only if he caught the ball before it hit the ground. That was fun for a while. Next, Paco tried to make a basket with his eyes closed. He was startled when someone called his name. Chapter 2. Company. "Paco!" the person shouted again. "Hey, Paco Martinez! You missed the basket by 10 miles!" Paco's eyes flew open and he whirled around.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?